Welcome back. All right, another quick news video for all you fine people for your Sunday, July the 7th. I hope everybody's staying cool. It's going to be near record heat here. Anyways, no teams elected for arbitration yesterday. This is a win. That means you got 14 players that elected arbitration. No teams have elected arbitration. It is an unpleasant process. It also indicates there's probably some good movement, or they're not that far apart if a team doesn't say we've got to take this guy to arbitration. And again, since it's such an ugly process, it's better to avoid it if you can. So that's good news. Keep that in mind as we go through the offseason and see how many restricted free agents do get signed, and we'll talk about them down here. Igor Zamula has signed a 2-year extension with the Philadelphia Flyers. The cap hits $1.7 million. This leaves the Flyers with no cap space. They're projected to have $120,000 in cap space this season, according to Puckpedia. And I've been using Puckpedia a lot more lately. I wanted to transition into this. They've been adding a lot to their website. So while Cap Friendly is still publicly available, we don't know how long that's going to be the case. We don't know exactly what's going on here. I don't know if this is just that there was so much public blowback that maybe the Capitals have reconsidered, or maybe they're leaving it open for as long as they can before the NHL tells them they have to take it down. But I can honestly say that Puckpedia, I think, has done a good job of presenting themselves as a legitimate potential successor. Remember, Cap Friendly, I think it was Cap Geek that was the first site, and then Cap Friendly took over. There will be other sites to jump in if/when Cap Friendly goes down. And again, it's a matter of when more than if. But yeah, so I wanted to throw that out there because I've seen people asking, well, where do we go? I think Puckpedia is going to be the one that is the successor. So I've seen a lot of Bruins fans commenting on Swayman. What's going to happen with Swayman? Swayman didn't elect for arbitration, so there was some panic. But the fact that neither Jeremy Swayman nor the Boston Bruins are electing for arbitration is a good thing. This means that Boston and Swayman are negotiating, and negotiations are going well enough that they don't want to risk going to arbitration. So I do think Swayman's going to sign. The Boston Bruins currently have $8,636,666 in cap space. A lot of that's going to go to Swayman. I don't know how much of the $8.6 million roughly is going to end up going to Swayman, but I would say if he signs for $5 million a year, like a Demko type deal, that's a win for Boston. But it does eat away at a lot of that cap space. And this is the thing. There are a lot of teams right now that if you look at whether it's Puckpedia or Cap Friendly, you're going to see a lot of cap space. But how many of them actually do have that cap space? Because you have so many good restricted free agents that are still out there. So Raymond and Sider for the Detroit Red Wings. The Detroit Red Wings have cap space, but Lucas Raymond and Moritz Sider are going to eat a lot of that up. $20,042,360. And so at least half of that goes to Raymond and Sider. It'll be more than half of that, of course. And then you got Carolina. They look like they have cap space too, with $11.825 million in cap space. But they have Jarvis, Natchez, and Drury. And of course, they're looking to move Natchez. And that's going to be interesting to see how much money Jarvis gets, because Seth Jarvis looks like he's going to be a star in the NHL for years to come. Not that Natchez doesn't have star potential either, because he does, and Drury is a low-key pretty good player. So yeah, that 11.8 million, that's not going to last. Quentin Byfield is out there for the Kings. They have 9.935 million in cap space. Thomas Harley for Dallas, $7,137,926 in cap space for the Stars. Cole Perfetti in Winnipeg, they have $4,251,309. And Matty Beniers. Matty Beniers should get a long-term extension. It's probably going to be a pretty hefty one. Seattle has $8,156,310. I think as we go into year 4 for Seattle, we're probably going to see a team that's at the salary cap or close to it. And Matty Beniers' extension will probably get them pretty close to it. And Luukkonen in Buffalo, and we talked about Buffalo just a couple days ago, $13,724,485. Or yesterday I talked about Luukkonen. What are days anymore? But yeah, so the Buffalo Sabres have the space to sign Luukkonen, but he's not going to be a cheap one either. I wouldn't think with how good he looked this past season, and he does look like he's going to be their starter for a while. So there are some teams that if you look at the cap list, you got those teams have a lot of cap space. Look at the restricted free agents, and also look to see how many of these teams haven't signed a full roster of players yet, and you'll realize that a lot of teams are kind of capped out. I think that's why some of the trade talks have really died off. So for the sites that rely on the traffic for trade rumors, it might be kind of a difficult summer for them because I think a lot of those talks have dropped off at this point. Plus, it is the first week of July. They just had free agency in the draft. GMs don't really have any pressure to get a deal done until I would say early August, maybe. But we'll see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. You guys can ballpark how much money you think these guys should make and how much they will make. Because sometimes what we think they will make and what they probably should make, sometimes those are quite different. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.